Matt, the late show strikes again. A superb victory, but probably one that we should have had sewn up a bit sooner.
Yes, in relation to the performance, the chances we created around their 18-yard box. Said to the group after the game, I can only really recall their keeper making one outstanding save and some good saves which you might expect him to make. So we've not worked their goal enough, certainly on the balance of the possession we had and the final third entries. But it's only took one moment. That was a set piece, and Podge doing what he's probably done throughout his career, which is being on the move and anticipating where that ball was going to land from a header at the back post. Delighted we kept our defensive mindset in a game where we probably had the better of the ball. Sometimes when you've got a lot of possession and a lot of good field position and you're on the front foot and feel good about your attacking play, you can take your eye off the ball at the back, and we certainly didn't do that today.
I think it was a frustrating afternoon for a lot of the game, whether that be our own doing or whether Carlisle managed to just stop us keeping that ball out of the net. But like you said, we managed to find a way, and that's something we've been doing quite consistently.
Yeah, that's the most amount of chances we've created in a long time. So in terms of the actual performance from box to box, I thought we were excellent. It was only the final bit, and if a goal goes in early on, then the whole complexion of the game changes completely. So sometimes you've just got to realise that you've got to stay in it and keep on doing what you're doing. I didn't need to change too much. I didn't feel I needed to change the formation too much. I just needed to freshen up energy areas on the pitch. And it's easy to say in hindsight, but if there's going to be a 6-yard box entry, then Podge is probably our best forward to be on the move and be thinking the best case scenario. Unfortunately it's panned out like that, but still special mention to the back boys and the goalkeeper and the rest of the group who've competed well and kept a good team at arm's length.
Like you say, another clean sheet and another clean sheet away from home, which is another great stat to tick off.
Yeah, and they've been in fantastic form. Since the new managers come in here, they've been absolutely outstanding form and beating some good teams here and created chances. So I can't recall Cam having too much to do. The one scramble around the box where the lads chopped and he's tipped it over the bar, but they didn't cut us open at any stage, and they've got some good players, a big squad and some good players, and a manager who knows exactly what he's doing. He's shown that in the 10 games he's had now. But in terms of the way we move the ball, it always seems to suit us up at Carlisle, whether it's a good pitch or a big pitch or extra space. We just didn't get the reward for it, but you've got to make yourself get the reward. You have to make it happen, and we were looking for that moment of quality, and sometimes a pretty basic set piece can be an incredible thing.
What did you say to the lads at half time, having had so many chances? Was it more of the same, or was it
more of the same? But so many half-time team talks this season have been about how the natural rhythm of the game and the balance of the game has put us into the right mindset. Whereas that first half was, it's wrong to say too comfortable, but we're having too much of our own way. And the opposition had to change personnel and formation off the back of it, and all of a sudden you're not quite right-minded in terms of what's needed. So my message was really clear: treat it as we did at Newport, treat it as we did at Port Vale, treat it as we did at Oldham, where we're in a battle, first things first, in terms of holding our position in the middle pitch and not giving them any easy hits into our back line or into our box. And we did that, and we still created enough chances. It felt like one of those days where it just wasn't our day in front of goal, and then it turned into it because we got the goal.
Supporters have spent hundreds of pounds making a weekend of it up here, or they've got up at 5 a.m. this morning. They're going home happy. 403 of them. Yeah,
before we talk about supporters, look, we set off at 8 o'clock in the morning and we got to the hotel at 8:30 last night. So we will talk at length about the supporters, but also make note of the players and the staff and what they did yesterday, because due to whether we can't afford 2 drivers on a coach, we're Exeter City, we had to stop at 6:30 in the evening for 45 minutes at Charnock Richards Services. The lads ate Subway and KFC for a pre-match meal. That's unacceptable, and that's my responsibility as manager of this football club. So before we talk about the sacrifices that the supporters made, rightly so, we need to mention the players. And being sat on a coach for the best part of 10-11 hours is a brutal thing for an athlete, but somehow they found a way to get in the right mindset today, and now we can talk about the supporters who supported us all the way through and got the rewards at the end. And we know better than anyone how long that journey is and the sacrifices they've made. But I've said it time and time again, they've done that all season. As much as we're in a good position now and everyone's feeling good about our game and the way we are performing, they've done it all season. I said about the Tuesday night 3 games in against Barrow. That's when you really find out about your supporters. So great, we've not got people jumping on the bandwagon in any way, but it's absolutely key that we win, lose or draw together.
I think the form we're in, rightly, attendance are slightly going up. Friday's game against Colchester, I think that almost at 7,000 tickets sold, which is going to be
a different game. Totally different game, and those 7,000 can't affect the way we've approached every single game this season. It's no different for the players. It's another game of football. It means we don't have to travel, so we've got a slightly different week in terms of the Friday game. So in terms of the schedule, it'll be slightly different, but in terms of our preparation, it'll be exactly the same as game one of the season. Nothing changes whatsoever. We're in a good position. We've put ourselves in a good position. I've not even checked the results. I still don't care about that. We're just looking forward to some home comforts on Friday.
Back to Podge quickly. Hasn't had masses of game time recently, but it must be pleasing for you as a manager that when you do give a player game time, he takes the chance.
I said it about Callum Rowe last week in terms of his attitude on a daily basis, and that's part of the reason we brought Podge into the football club, because he sets the example, and to set the example as a senior pro, that's not an easy thing to do, because he'll have aches and pains. He travels in from Newport on a daily basis, and people will say that's his job, but even the energy he brings and the enthusiasm is absolutely incredible. So we're delighted to have his impact this season, and he's also contributed at certain times, and like I say, when the pressure's on, there's no one better than Podge to put on the pitch, certainly in terms of 18-yard box and 6-yard box, because he's on the move, he knows where the ball will be, he'll stay level with his experience, and he's trained well enough to get that opportunity.
And I understand he's a player that's had quite an effect off the pitch as well, particularly with the younger players, using his experience to guide them in some way. Yeah,
look, he's got a big future in a coaching capacity and probably a managerial capacity, but first things first, he's got to keep contributing on that football pitch, and that forward quartet before Nombe comes back has got to, we've got to take some pressure and take some responsibility, and as much as Oz disrupted their back line, I just felt that there was going to be a moment in that game where it was going to fall in that 6-yard box, and that's like I say why I made that Podge substitution. But any of that group have got to be ready to step in and contribute when they do that as well. It's all well and good being a cheerleader within the squad or a good influence. You've got to still contribute on the pitch, and Podge certainly has done that today.
Great stuff, Matt. Thank you.